Men vedkommende vil gerne lige banke på ruden og så sige idiot. Nå. Nej. Nej, okay. Var du syg eller hvad? Kan du ikke høre? Nå. Vi har ikke brug for så meget lys dernede.
Good morning, I'm David Casper and this is Saxo Bank Market Call. Today is the 10th of December. On Friday, we saw the Canadian unemployment rate increasing to 5.9% as expected. The prior reading was 5.8%. The U.S. unemployment rate was out at 4.7% versus 4.8% expected, and the prior reading was 4.7%. The change in non-farm payrolls was out at 94,000 versus 80,000 expected, so that was much lower than the ADP employment change that was out on Wednesday, indicating that we should have seen a much higher figure. The University of Michigan confidence was out slightly weaker than expected at 74.5, and then we saw the consumer credit also slightly lower than expected at 4.7 billion. The dollar is firm ahead of the FOMC rate decision tomorrow. Euro dollar is contained in a range of 146.10 to 146.70, and Aussie dollar is higher, pushing for 0.8780. Stocks not really changing and pretty range bound ahead of the FOMC rate decision tomorrow also, and the same actually also goes for fixed income, which those seem to be trending a bit higher, just in slightly or just edging higher. Commodities, precious metals trading also in tight ranges. Gold February contract now at $804 per ounce, and silver at $14.55. Crude oil little change, around $88 per barrel, and soybean is now making a 34-year high. We have a lot of stuff out today, but none of them are really market movers, except perhaps the Canadian housing starts at 13:15 GMT, expected at 221,000. Pending home sales in the US 15 o'clock GMT and expected at a drop of 1%. Then later on tonight or very early tomorrow morning, Japanese consumer and household confidence expected at 43 and 42.8 respectively. That's at 5 o'clock GMT. But tomorrow we have the FOMC rate decision out. The majority expect them to cut rates 25 basis points. But we also have a rather big minority still that expect the FOMC to cut rates by 50 basis points, so that is quite interesting. Otherwise, we have the IBD tip economic optimism in the US and ABC consumer confidence. We have the trade balance out of the UK also tomorrow, and then on the 12th, that's on Wednesday, we have the US trade balance, we have the import price index, DOE energy storage figures and monthly budget statement in the US, as well as the UK claim account rate and jobs claims change. We also have the Eurozone and German CDW survey that is tomorrow and could be important, especially for DAX traders and for the euro. So what's going on in the markets? Well, we believe that a lot of the market action will be range-bound ahead of the decision tomorrow evening. The interest rate futures, DERF futures, so to speak, are indicating only a 25% chance of a half-point rate cut, and the rest is pretty much for a 25 basis points rate cut in the U.S. tomorrow. Also, in this seemingly non-ending series of subprime-related gloomy news, we are seeing the UBS that is now out announcing it would write down an additional $10 billion worth of subprime-related assets, and in total $66 billion of subprime-related losses and markdowns have been announced this year. And after a rally in the second half, we see crude oil nearly touching $100 per barrel. After having seen that, oil prices now continue to fall as we are seeing a slowing U.S. economic growth, and we're seeing speculation that to the limits that demand and increase build up in the fuel stockpiles. Of FX trading strategies today, we have a breakout play in cable, and that is we are seeing support in cable at 202.20 and resistance at 204.20, and we have placed half a position to sell at 203.11 offered, targeting 202.45 and stop it at 203.35. That is related also to the UK figures today, and perhaps also we still believe that the FOMC, ahead of the FOMC, will see most crosses being range bound, and therefore the target is also quite moderate. For equities, we are generally bearish, and we believe that we're seeing some resistance in markets, and we don't believe that will break ahead of the FOMC rate decision tomorrow. But if it does, we have a bullish DAX trading strategy out for the futures. But today, also in a single stock recommendation, we recommend to buy Atlas Copco, which is traded on the OME stock exchange, and we recommend to buy towards 93, keeping a stop below 89 and targeting 100. Otherwise, on futures, as I said, we have a bullish strategy in DAX. We're seeing a major trend line resistance dating back from July 2007, and that comes in around 80.40. And if that breaks, we recommend to buy with a stop below 80.20 and target 80.80 or even 8100 area. That is it for today, and thank you for joining me here on Saxo Bank Market Call.